Woman. An adult human female. A female person associated with a particular place, activity, or occupation. Female adults in general. There are many different urban legends in all cultures that involve supernatural beings that prey on lonely and unfaithful men. They often appear in the guise of beautiful women and lure them in to only bring about a horrible demise upon them. This demise could be the man being consumed or driven insane. These stories could have truths behind them, or they could simply be told to teach and instill a moralistic behavior among others. Every culture has their own variations of these beings that prey on people and hide their true forms as women, but none more frightening than those that come from Latin countries. Coming from the lands of Mexico, Nicaragua, to the Dominican Republic, let us take a look at those that prey upon the men of these Latin countries. Welcome to Innocence Unknown. Mexico is home to many different legends. One comes in the form of a giant owl. There are stories of these large owls hunting their preferred prey, which of course is people. They are patient beings that will stand by and wait. When the time is right, they will snatch it up and fly away, with no knowing what they will do with their victim. This creature has many different stories about them, and some even claim to see them today. Its name is the lechuza. This creature is said to have many origins. In some stories, the being is a woman that was wronged and now seeks a form of revenge, and is known to sometimes be human by day and a large owl by night. In one story, it is a woman that lost their child for being falsely accused of a crime, and the child was then murdered by angry villagers. Or the child was killed by a drunkard. It may even be nothing more than a witch's familiar, or even a minion of the devil himself. The legends say that the lechuza chooses its prey for different reasons, depending on the story. In one version, the creature sits and waits outside of a home during domestic quarreling, and once a member of the home storms off angry and leaves, the creature will snatch up its victim to be taken to its own lair. In another version of the tale, it will wait outside a bar and other places where heavy drinking occurs, then will prey upon the drunken ones when they are leaving. This is all in a quest for revenge against those that indulge in the vice of alcohol, because the lechuza was once the human mother of a child killed by a drunken individual. The creature also has a strange fondness for children, and has been said to prey upon children that wander off after dark, though this could be nothing more than a tale told to make children mind their parents. They also try to lure others from their home to prey upon. They may scratch and pick at your door and hope that you will open and let them in, and in some cases emulate the sounds of a baby crying to lure you out. Once you give in, the lechuza will swoop in and take you away. The creature is said to be killable, but it is magical in nature, and the stories say that if you shoot it and it lives, you will die instead. If it touches you, even a single feather, you will die. And if they visit you in your dreams, there is a chance someone you know is going to die. You can ward it off, though, and keep it away from your home by hanging a rope with 7 knots in it outside your front door. This is a sign of showing respect for the beast. If the lechuza comes swooping for you, you can repel her with a combination of salt and chili powder, or even use a prayer. There have been those to claim to have seen this being even today. In one such encounter, a man was driving and the creature swooped right into the vehicle's windshield, and when the creature hit the street, the driver drove back and forth over it. The occupants of the vehicle looked in the mirror driving away and saw the creature get up and fly away. However, the driver suffered a heart attack and died once this happened. In another sighting, it was said that a lechuza was stalking a hometown, and they used a child to lure it out. and the townsfolk managed to shoot it, but only nicked its claw. When the townfolk went the next day to visit an old woman in town, she answered with an injured leg that was all bandaged up. Lastly, there is even said to be a sighting in 1977, where a woman claims that the creature came to her door scraping away at it, seeking its way in. Of course, it's possible there is no creature at all, and it's nothing more than a series of stories shared from person to person. Whether these are true, or if they are just old stories, if you happen to hear scraping at your door, a baby crying outside, or even a whistling, it would be best to not investigate or answer, for it could be the lechuza right at your door, waiting to take you away. It is late, and you are walking home at night, alone. The only light you have on the lonely dark road is the street light above you. You arrive at a crossroad. You are then approached by what looks to be a formless black mass that slowly takes the shape of a wicked, unkempt woman. You oddly feel somewhat hypnotized by it, and then feel that you can no longer move. The woman changes shape back to the formless black mass, and then engulfs you. You can't see anything but darkness, and struggle to breathe. It becomes pointless to struggle any longer, and you give in to the embrace of death. You have just become the newest victim of the La Malahora, also known as the Evil One. Hailing from New Mexico, this entity, demon, or being lurks in the darkness of lonely crossroads at night, seeking unsuspecting travelers. This dark spirit will appear in different forms, sometimes a dark, formless mass of blackness that grows in shape, becoming large and small, constantly shifting. It will then rush towards its victim and engulf it. Its prey will suffocate, and then be left to be found dead the next morning. In an attempt to catch its victim and to keep it from running, it will try to paralyze or hypnotize the victim. It is also said to even lay eyes upon it will drive one to insanity. In other accounts, it has been described to appear as an old woman with unkempt hair, wearing black. She will be like the wind and not touch the ground at all. It is said that it will rarely, if ever, appear in this form. If it does, though, it is seen to be a death omen. It means someone you know will die soon. There are claims of people that have seen La Malahora. In one case, a woman driving at night witnessed the being in its eerie female form, and it came to her. It was described as a hideous old woman with red eyes and sharp pointed teeth, scraping at her window. After she escaped the encounter, she found later her boyfriend had passed away from a bullet wound just after midnight the night before. The night she met La Malahora. Should you ever need to travel at night, perhaps it would be best to avoid any crossroads. Some beings exist merely to seek the revenge for the ways they were wronged in life before becoming the creatures they became. These beings become something driven by hate to such a degree that their humanity is no longer worth living for, and seek to merely bring ruin. This is the case with La Segua. There are many different versions of the story, but they all involve the punishment of unfaithful and drunken men. And one version, the Segua was a beautiful woman, a mix of Indian and Spanish blood. These women are normally portrayed as having very luscious white skin, with jet black eyes and long cascading black hair. At some point, one of these women were enticed into a relationship with a Spanish officer, and then gave herself to him before marriage, which was quite forbidden at the time. After a time went by, the officer disappeared, and the woman went insane. This then bestowed a curse upon her, turning her into a monster that will now forever wander lonely roads at night. In another origin, it is a Nicaraguan witch that lives alone in the woods. Regardless, all versions depict the monster in the same way. A woman in black and sometimes white, always obscuring their face with either a veil or their long black hair. They will wander the lonely roads at night, awaiting a man traveling home from a long night of drinking to pull beside and pick them up to offer them help. The woman will use her ways of seduction to lure them in, and then will reveal their face to them. Instead of the sight of a beautiful woman to behold, they will be greeted by a terrifying monster bearing the skull of a horse with burning red eyes. Then the man is forever cursed in different ways, depending on the story. They may be driven purely insane from then on, and will be discarded by others in town as nothing more than crazy. Or the man will be cursed to be impotent for the rest of their lives. Women are not immune to this curse either. It is said that if a single woman gives in to the temptations of a man before marriage, they will be turned into a segua to then become the hunter seeking to avenge their curse by preying on other men. La segua are known to be able to travel through solid objects and can fly vast distances very quickly to stop their prey from escaping, or to lure them into their own trap. However, there is a way to escape this fate though. If one is in possession of mustard seeds and throws them in her direction, she will stop to pick the seeds up, allowing the victims time to escape. Though some have claimed to see the segua, there are no provable accounts of them existing. It's very possible it was all a story made to reinforce the moral of remaining faithful and avoiding unsavory behaviors, or in the case of a woman, saving oneself for the night she marries. Whether the stories are true, or just a tale to strike fear in others, keep a close eye out while traveling home at night from a night of partying. That lonely woman you spot in need of help may not be the beauty you think she is. These creatures may all be stories, but some swear to have bared witness to them. Best to keep a close eye out, though, for not everything is always as it seems. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Perhaps click the bell for notifications, and remember, hell is empty, and the devils are here.